The Learning Landscape is a grid-based math playground for active learning designed by nonprofit ProjectH Design. ProjectH is a California-based coalition of hundreds of product designers working in 9 chapters worldwide on creative initiatives that improve life. They support, create, and deliver empowering design solutions for communities such as the homeless, foster care children, and the physically impaired who otherwise do not have access to design services. The Learning Landscape was designed by a team of product designers from San Francisco, New York, and the Netherlands in the fall of 2008. After ProjectH founder Emily Pillaton visited the Katamba School for AIDS Orphans in Uganda, she saw an opportunity to provide better math learning experiences for education in the developing world. Simultaneously, the team, which included Helene DeGoy, Dan Grossman, Christina Drury, Neha Thate, and Ilona De Jong, observed that the current market for educational learning tools was saturated with poorly made, overly prescribed toys that were often intended for only one child. Using math as a universal point of departure that would bridge all cultures and languages, the team set out to design a scalable system for math learning that would rely on activity, competition, fun, and logic to teach mathematic concepts in a more engaging way for students and teachers. The team consulted with educators, families, and pupils about the ways children learn, and looked closely at existing materials and educational theory, including math manipulatives, Montessori toys, cognition through activity, and tactile learning. After brainstorming multiple ideas and taking into account the feedback of the teachers at the Katamba AIDS Orphan School, which would be the pilot school for the design, the team focused on one scheme favored for its flexibility and experience-based interaction. The concept was simple: a large outdoor gridded space where each point is marked by an object and assigned a number. Within the grid, a series of games could be played. Discarded tires were identified as an ideal material for marking the points on the grid, as they can be found in most locations across the globe, usually at a minimal cost. Buried halfway in the ground, they were a viable surface upon which to write numbers using chalk, which is common to classrooms. This flexible, grid-based math playground for active learning, made from a sandbox and discarded tires, was dubbed the Learning Landscape. The team then embarked upon the development of the series of games to be played within the Learning Landscape. The games would need a static set of rules, but would also need to allow for increasing skill levels, individual and team-based competition, social interaction, and spatial and logical reasoning. 10 potential games were conceived and tested with a variety of users, from 4-year-olds to design students and educators, in New York, Rhode Island, and a school in the Netherlands. Match Me, one of the most successful games, involves 2 teams of students who must compete head-to-head to find the tire with the correct answer to math problems that the teacher calls out. Helene and Dan, the 2 project leads, then traveled to Uganda in January 2009, just 4 months after the project's launch, to build the pilot installation at the Katamba AIDS Orphan School. The team got to work with Katamba's teachers, Dixon and Nicholas, and the headmaster, Eric, who had already sourced tires from local truck and auto repair shops. The teachers, with the help of local laborers, excavated and leveled the site. The 4x4 grid was established, and 16 tires were set into the framed sandbox, which was painted green and white, the school's colors. Benches were built over the tires, creating an outdoor classroom and making the landscape more functional for students and teachers. The 90 Katamba students were invited to the new landscape to test, play, and learn the games. Helene and Dan worked with the teachers so that they understood the game rules, how to create and adapt the games to different grade levels, and integrate the games into the existing math curricula. The teachers were delighted at the students' engagement and the ease of the game instruction. Outdoor play, as a platform for learning, was an experience both the teachers and children looked forward to. Since the initial installation in Uganda, ProjectH traveled to the Bertie County School District in rural North Carolina to construct 4 learning landscapes for each of the elementary schools. Teachers regularly use the learning landscape during class time and have invented games, including one that teaches vocabulary and grammar, along with new versions of Match Me for social studies, geography, and science material. Since the April 2009 installation in North Carolina, the ProjectH team has returned to provide a set of peripherals for the learning landscape which enhance efficiency for the teachers. A set of small whiteboards attached to the tires using Velcro allow teachers to prepare answers and lessons before use, and a set of larger outdoor boards is being developed to make the space an even more functional outdoor learning environment. The North Carolina installations also provided the ProjectH team with insights to how the learning landscape could be used as a metric for state educational assessments and be a more qualitative way to assess student progress. As the teachers from both Bertie County and the Catawba School continue to develop new ways to use the learning landscape, ProjectH is compiling an open source database of all the games for teachers to access and collectively grow. ProjectH plans to build dozens more learning landscapes, as well as develop an off-the-shelf version for teachers who may not have a permanent installation at their school. The team is also exploring a desktop version of the games for in-home use, and web-based networks for sharing games across the globe. The learning landscape has global applicability, using universal materials in a non-language specific system. It is an example of humanitarian design that is simple, infinitely scalable and adaptable, interactive, and functional. ProjectH Design believes design can change the world. The learning landscape system, through user-focused design thinking, is a tool for improving educational experiences for children worldwide.